When a helpless puppy saw his mother trapped in the deadly grip of a giant snake, instinct took over. His tiny legs raced through the forest, barking for help, refusing to give up. What happened next would leave even the toughest officers speechless. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Morning sunlight filtered through the towering trees, painting golden patches on the forest floor. The patrol team moved carefully along the trail, boots crunching softly over fallen leaves. Two of their most trusted companions trotted ahead, a proud German shepherd named Luna and her playful puppy Max. Luna was the team's best-trained rescue dog, strong, alert, and fiercely loyal. Max, still young and curious, followed every step of his mother, stumbling sometimes but never letting her out of sight. The officers adored them both. They had seen Luna pull people out of rivers, find lost hikers, and even calm wild animals, and now she was teaching her son to be just like her. The bond between them was unbreakable, mother and son, protector and pupil. The forest seemed peaceful that morning. Birds sang overhead and sunlight danced between the leaves. The officers chatted casually, believing it was just another day of routine patrol. Max ran ahead, chasing a butterfly tumbling over his own paws. Luna watched him fondly but kept her guard up, her ears twitching at every sound. She had been through enough missions to know that danger often hides behind silence. The forest suddenly grew still. The wind seemed to stop. Luna's nose lifted slightly. There was something strange in the air, something that didn't belong. She growled low in her throat, the sound barely audible but filled with warning. Before anyone could react, a sharp rustle came from the bushes. Then it happened. A massive, earth-colored snake exploded from the undergrowth faster than the human eye could follow. Its body was thick and powerful, moving like a living muscle. Luna lunged forward, barking furiously to protect her team, but the snake coiled around her in a heartbeat. The air filled with the horrifying sound of scales tightening. Luna struggled, claws scraping the ground, gasping for air as the snake's grip crushed around her chest. The officers froze for a second, stunned by the sheer size of the creature. "Luna!" One of them shouted, rushing forward, but it was too late. Max stood only a few feet away, his tiny body trembling. His mother's growls turned into desperate whimpers. He barked, high-pitched and frantic, but the officers were too far. For a brief moment he looked lost, his ears back, tail low, eyes wide with fear. Then something inside him changed. He turned and ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, barking with every breath, dashing through the trees toward the patrol unit. The officers saw him coming. His fur bristled, eyes wild, making short, sharp barks that carried pure panic. One officer knelt confused. "What is it, boy?" Max tugged at his pants, pulling him in the direction of the woods, refusing to let go. The urgency in his cries was impossible to ignore. Realizing something was terribly wrong, the officers grabbed their gear and followed Max. The forest blurred around them as they ran. When they broke through the trees and reached the clearing, they stopped in horror. Luna lay on the ground, the giant snake wrapped around her body, muscles rippling with every constriction. Her paws kicked weakly, eyes filled with pain. Without hesitation, the officers sprang into action. "Grab its body," one of them shouted. Another officer distracted the snake's head with a long stick, trying to make it release its grip. Max darted in and out, barking madly, even snapping at the snake's tail despite his size. He wouldn't let fear stop him. The struggle was brutal. The officers pulled with all their strength, sweat pouring down their faces, boots digging into the dirt. The snake's body was like a living iron chain. Every time they loosened it slightly, it coiled tighter again. Luna's breathing grew weaker. Her eyes flickered as if she was slipping away. "We're losing her!" someone shouted. The female officer in charge took command, her voice sharp and steady. "On my count, pull together. 1, 2, 3, now!" All hands pulled at once, every muscle straining. The forest echoed with their grunts and the hiss of the angry snake. For a terrifying moment, it seemed hopeless. Then with a sudden snap of motion, the coils began to loosen. The snake writhed violently, thrashing its tail, trying to escape. The officers didn't stop. One of them managed to get a firm grip and yanked hard. The snake finally released Luna and slithered backward, hissing furiously as it disappeared into the undergrowth. The forest fell silent again, except for the heavy breathing of the team and the faint whimper from Luna. She lay still, sides rising weakly, chest trembling. Max rushed to her, licking her face, nudging her gently as if begging her to wake up. The officers knelt beside her. "Easy, girl," one whispered, stroking her fur. Luna opened her eyes slowly, her breath shallow but steady. Relief swept over everyone. The danger was gone, but she was badly hurt. They called for medical assistance immediately. Within minutes, a forest vet arrived, setting up quickly under the shade of the tall trees. The team watched anxiously as Luna was examined. "She's lucky," the vet said, checking her vitals. Another few minutes and she wouldn't have made it. Max refused to leave her side. He pressed his small body against hers, letting out soft, worried whines. The officers exchanged glances, realizing just how much that tiny pup had done. Hours passed as Luna rested in the patrol van. Her breathing steadied and color returned to her gums. Max curled beside her, finally closing his eyes for the first time since the attack. The officers spoke quietly outside, replaying the moment. "That little one saved her," one of them said. "If he hadn't come for us, we'd have never found her in time." Another nodded. Bravery doesn't depend on size. The sun dipped lower, casting golden light through the trees. It was a peaceful sight after so much chaos. A few days later, Luna was back on her feet. Her wounds had healed faster than anyone expected. The patrol unit gathered to see her walk again, Max trotting proudly beside her. When she stopped, he mimicked her stance, ears up, eyes alert, just like a real patrol dog. The officers laughed softly. One of them knelt down and placed a small tag on Max's collar, a silver badge engraved with a single word: Hero. Luna nuzzled him gently, as if she understood what it meant. The bond between them had grown even stronger, forged by courage and love. As they walked along the same forest trail where it had all happened, the breeze rustled the leaves softly. The forest was calm again, alive with the sounds of life returning. Luna paused for a moment, sniffing the air, then looked down at Max. He barked once, tail wagging. Together they moved forward, side by side, guardians of the forest once more. When the patrol ended that evening, the team gathered by their van, watching the sunset filter through the trees. "We witnessed something special," one officer said quietly. "A mother's love and a puppy's courage." Another smiled. "Sometimes heroes come on 4 legs." Luna lay down beside Max, her head resting gently on his small body. He looked up at her, eyes full of pride and warmth. The forest was still, the danger gone, but the memory of their bravery would last forever. And somewhere deep among the trees, where light and shadow danced together, the quiet rustle of leaves seemed to whisper one simple truth: love is the greatest strength of all.